All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new show, our boxing show, the filthy hardcore and dirty casual show. Um, Joining me today is my boy Ola. Say hello, Ola.
Good evening, people. We're back again. We've got 235 live tomorrow, MMA show, and one or two topics of boxing on the horizon. With one of our main fighters on the home soil. So, well, he's fighting away, but one of our very own fighter. So, yeah, it's good to be back on the show talking MMA and boxing with you.
Yeah. So just to let people know who are obviously fans of the football, I've done my Spurs Tottenham preview. Go check that out. Now I've done a nice 20-minute preview just about the kind of things that I think we'll be watching out for tomorrow. But for now, tomorrow also it's a big sporting weekend. So there you go. And we've got to talk about the 2-3. It's such a stacked card. I mean, in terms of the card, because I ain't gonna lie to you, the last card was what 2-3-4, and I
Hmm
was so disappointed in 2-3.
Disappointed. If the main event even got injured, man.
Yeah, man.
That was
So when
terrible.
you compare that to
That
this,
that was
this
a
there's
terrible.
legitimately 5, 6 fights that I'm very curious about,
Yeah,
which is rare. What do you think of the card, just of the card as a whole?
I like the card. They've obviously they knew they fucked up with the last card, so they've gone above and beyond to make sure this card makes up for. I mean, the last couple cards really has been
Yeah,
fucking kind of madness. So
yeah,
they've gone well out of their way to make sure this card is worth the pounds and the dollars that the fans are going to be paying for it.
yeah.
I mean,
Because
um,
January didn't even happen, did it?
oh, that doesn't happen. I mean, to get I can't remember the last time we've had two championship main event and co-main event on one card. The
Yeah,
last one we had was Amanda Nunes on the same night as is it TJ Dillashaw?
yeah.
Dillashaw and Cejudo. So yeah, that's the last one we had, and there's been a lot of cards since then. So yeah, it's nice to have this card, something to chew on. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to get through, but I'm sure we're gonna delve into that.
All right. So which way are we gonna go? We're gonna go main event first. Or we're gonna go
No,
co-main.
lead the way, man. Lead the way wherever you want to go with it, man. Lead the way, bro.
All right. Let's talk about the fight that weirdly, out of the ones I'm interested in, I'm
Yeah.
interested in this one the least, and that is the main event. I mean,
Okay. Oh well, let's get
before,
that out of the way.
before we dive into that, obviously the news came out yesterday that John Jones yet again has tested positive for his previously taken steroids. I don't know. At this point, is it half a picogram? I don't know what's going on. Uh,
Jesus, man.
it just, to be honest, I'd rather them just say nothing because every time they flag this shit up, it just makes them look ridiculous.
Well, really, they can't not just say nothing. To be fair, because the other fighters in his division, in his weight class, in the same company, they're all getting tested, and they'd be disappointed if somebody got flagged and didn't get put out there. So, as far as they're concerned, the more Jones get put out there, um, whether it's old testing, whether it's old drugs that's still manifesting or new one, they don't care. It's all bad publicity for him. So that's how they'd be looking at it because that thing, what you tagged me in yesterday with the VADA testing and the USADA testing, NSAC testing, what you tagged me in yesterday,
Mm.
it goes to somebody was trying to defend it, and I was trying to say, listen, as this guy is a great fighter. I love watching him fight. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves. Look, Jones without all of this fucking malarkey. It'd be pound for pound one of the best fighters you ever set eyes on, just because of
Yeah.
the way he approaches fights and the way he dominates the fights in the octagon. But they're trying to defend it by saying what is being found in the system doesn't help him perform in the octagon. Well,
Mm.
there's other places where it helps him perform, like in the bedroom and stuff, but we won't go there.
Well,
We're
yeah,
all the dick pills and that, so we won't go there. But John Jones is the type of fighter that he polarizes opinion, and something tells me he thrives off of it. He loves that shit. He enjoys the chaos, and this is just another page in that
Mm.
chaotic book that John Jones lives by, and yeah, it's just another one. To me, I just think, like you said, in a way, it's better not to publish it. But what I said in in that situation there is Jones ever gonna be clean? Is he ever gonna be clean? Because 2 years from now, we could still be talking about this same picogram
about the
that
same
they
pictogram.
that they found two years ago. So, you know, we might as well just get on with it and not worry about Jones ever being clean again. Uh,
It's such a shame because, like you say, taking all the pictograms and all that nonsense out of it, you're looking at one of the best talents ever in combat sport.
in combat sport, it's
And
ridiculous. No
you
one's even
know,
close.
he's tall. He's good looking. He appeals to both white people, black people. If you just look at his talent, you're looking at someone who you could see why Dana backs him, no matter what this guy does, no matter what fuck up he goes to. You could see, even after everything he's accomplished, he's still only 31.
He's so young. He's
And you
so
could
young.
see,
He
you could
could he,
see.
he could do so much with his career, and I don't know, man. But there's just that thing with Jones where he looks right through your soul. He just looks right. I don't know how he does it, but look. There's people like me that whatever is selling, I'm still gonna buy the pay per view
Of
just just
course,
to, just to see if his ass is gonna get whooped one,
and that's
just to
the
see if
thing.
this guy is gonna
And
do it.
you're so right in what you're saying because now he's entered into what I can only describe as the Floyd Mayweather territory of
Yeah,
selling pay,
that's
where
right.
people are now tuning in, waiting to see if actually somebody be whooped. And I will say this: if anybody can beat him, it will be someone like an Anthony Smith. Someone that's not even on the radar. Like,
An unknown entity, the
yeah,
unknown entity
thinking
about it.
about people that could beat John Jones, you're thinking of people like Stipe Miocic. You're thinking of even a Cormier. Even
Mm,
after the two losses,
yeah,
you would still think about Cormier. You would still think about if Kane could get himself sorted, Kane, right? You would not, Francis, you would not think about no fucking Anthony Smith. But if Jones, to me, will only lose if Jones doesn't take that opponent seriously.
mm,
And that's where I think Anthony Jones has a little bit of a chance. Just a little bit
yeah.
of a chance.
But if we've heard one thing time and time and time again through the press release, through the conferences, through the interviews, Ariel Awani, um, uh, the countdown with Dan Hardy. Every interview that you hear John Jones talking about this fight, there's one thing that's constant that he keeps saying.
He's taking
I'm
Anthony Jones
taking
very
this guy
serious.
very, very serious.
Even before you finished the sentence, I knew
you
where
know,
you.
I'm taking this guy very seriously, like extreme. He's used that word extremely seriously so many times in
Yeah,
every single interview he's done.
yeah.
And when he keeps saying that, I have no reason to doubt him that That's exactly what he's doing. So if he's saying he's taking him seriously, he's taking him seriously. And how can you not take Anthony Smith seriously?
Do you know
If
he's
you look
one of the biggest underdogs ever in a title fight, Anthony
ever,
Jones?
I mean, he wanted this fight in July. This fight
Yeah,
has come way sooner than he thought it was going to be, and
yeah,
that could be detrimental for him, because
yeah,
obviously he's thinking maybe camp, do a little bit of research here and there about John Jones. I'm not sure how much time that is hard, because he went through that when he first mentioned it with Jones after Jones won the title against Gustafsson. He's like, "What are you doing in July?" That's the interview I saw with
yeah.
him
I
and
saw
with yeah.
the
So
interview.
and Jones
Kind
is
of.
like, "Yeah, I'm down." And the next thing you know, the fight is it's not even it's the February ain't even finished. You
Do you
know.
know what? To be fair to Anthony Smith, I think most people assumed that it will take a while for John Jones to step back out. I was so shocked when they said he was coming back out straight away for Anthony Smith.
Yeah, to be fair to Jones, he wanted a quick turnaround because he's been out of the game for so long through his ban and all of that. And he didn't really take no damage in the Gustafsson fight. Like Gustafsson didn't even get anywhere near him,
Yeah,
which to me is a shame, because I thought if there's anybody that's going to push him uh, to some kind of limit, it was going to be him. But
yeah.
Gus, Gus,
That light heavyweight division is trash, bro.
yeah, well, the Luke Rockhold is coming in there, so it might.
Uh, what the skinny
Who,
Luke Rockhold, he'll get
who,
he'll get
who
knocked
knows?
out. The
I
only
mean,
one that
he's
I
been
think
running his mouth still, so
the only one that I think could be a real one. You know the one that fought last weekend. I think his name is Santos, the Brazilian
he
one.
actually beat Anthony Smith.
Yeah,
That's that's
he's a real
that's
one.
Smith's only loss
Yeah,
in the UFC.
in the
He
UFC.
kicked him in the gut. I could see Smith wincing, and the next thing you know, my man just rained down on him, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Blankovic was stupid last week, man, for going fucking strike for strike with that man. Just do what you do best. Wrestle the guy to the ground and try to keep him down there. Win on points, and maybe it could be you that looking at the next title fight in. But right now, if Smith is getting a title fight, and this guy just beat Blakovic,
Yeah,
there's no reason Thiago Santos shouldn't be in the conversation after this fight. To me, is he should be number one contender in that division,
yeah.
and
Well,
he's got the most knockouts. This guy is heavy-handed. He's so heavy-handed. I wouldn't. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm not going to jump on Thiago Santos right now, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're talking about Smith and John Jones, but incidentally, the only loss registered on the UFC at the UFC by with Smith is through Thiago Santos. He knocked him out TKO. So
I
you
mean,
know,
it's funny you should talk about Smith's losses because he's only lost one in the UFC, but
yeah,
grand total, this motherfucker's lost 13 fucking fights. But he's also
yeah.
won 31, to be fair to him. How does let's go with Smith for a second. We know how John Jones is going to win this fight, realistically. How does Smith shock the world? How does he go about it?
The way I think he's gonna approach the fight is showing no respect. Don't get starstruck. Um, Stick to what you've been doing.
Mm,
Um, the way he approaches fights, he closes the distance down with pressure, and that's how he's won majority of his fights. And to me, I watched all of his fights preceding this show. I went to watch a lot of his fights previous, and a lot of his fighters stand in front of him.
mm,
None of them are the type of guys that move around.
yeah.
Jones ain't gonna stand there for you to
To hit.
to take shots at him. Jones ain't
Yeah,
that type of guy. If
yeah,
this is a guy that values his face so
yeah.
much, he got battered by Gustafsson and he said, "Never again am I ever looking like this." in a fight. You know what I mean?
Do you know? If you notice, he mentions it during most build-ups that luckily he's had a career where he's not taken too much damage. You could see that he's starting to think about life outside.
Metronomical. He's trying to be metronomical with it. And this is the thing. This is the thing with Jones. Jones is a guy that we know is a very, very extravagant guy outside of the octagon. Loves to live his life, whether you agree with it or not. He's just that type of guy. So he will go. He reminds me of the same way that Mighty Mouse fights. Mighty Mouse goes into the octagon with the look of taking the minimal type of damage that he could get in the. You ain't even getting anywhere near this guy. And that's how he's fought his career all along. There's other guys that don't give a damn, like Cowboy, Donna Cerrone, people like what's the guy that had a fight with Eddie Alvarez? He beat up James Wicks, Josh Wicks.
Justin Gaethje.
Gaethje. These guys, thank you. These guys, they
How
don't
do I know that and you don't?
Well, I do. It just jumped out of my mind for me. But I was talking about the people that he fought and the people he beat. It just flew out of my mind. But yeah, just engage. I'm just talking about people that don't give a fuck. They just go into the octagon. They're reckless in the octagon. But there's other fighters that they think about the next 5 years, the next 10 years, CTE, and there's fighters like that. And later on in the show, as we go on, I'm going to drop in another fighter that thinks with his head in a fight, going into a fight without taking any damage. But John Jones has always fought like that. That's been his code. And I will be surprised, very, very surprised, if he doesn't have his hands raised. Tomorrow night. Very, very surprised.
It would be a huge shock. I think there's more
but not impossible. This is MMA.
I think there's more chance of Man City and I think there's more chance of Man City losing. To be honest, I honestly cannot see it happen.
Puncher's chance, man. Puncher's chance, not impossible. It's MMA.
Honestly, I don't even think Anthony Smith believes it himself.
You know what? You sounded like Luke Rocco there. He said, I don't know if this guy even believes that he can stand in the same octagon as John Jones. And Rocco is saying he gives him a round. And he don't even think
I don't think he'll make
make it out in a round.
I don't think he'll make it out either. I hate agreeing with Luke Rocco because I can't stand him.
But he could be right.
I don't see him lasting around either. Before we talk about the co-main, let's talk about Askren versus Robbie Lawler.
Right.
This is an intriguing fight because I think most people
like this fight a lot.
Most people assume that Askren wins this. I'm not so sure though. What do you think?
I'm leaning towards Askren. I've actually got money on Askren to win. There's 3 fighters that I got money on tomorrow. That I've put my money where my mouth is. I've backed John Jones. I've backed Askren and I've backed Usman tomorrow. So I
knew you backed Usman. I knew it.
So those are my 3 guys tomorrow. I got a little wager on them, and if I'm successful, then that's £50 in the bank. If it comes through. So yeah.
Wait, who's the third guy?
Huh?
Who's the third guy?
Askren, Usman, and John Jones.
Askren, Usman, and John Jones. Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are the guys that I'm backing to win tomorrow. So I'm hoping they come through.
You only get £50. How much you put on that?
Nah, it's a bet again with another friend. It's a wager with another brethren. So
what app is giving you them odds?
No. I'll probably get way less than that if I
I
play.
know, yeah. I was
You
gonna
know what I
say,
mean?
yeah.
I'll get way less than that, but like it's a £20 wager piece on each fighter and £10 on the John Jones thing. So that's £50, man. If that comes
What?
in.
Does your friend think that Smith will beat him? Come on now.
If Smith wins, I pay him £30 on that one fight. But if Jones wins, I give him tenner because we know it's not a plain level field. So I've actually got way more to lose
I was gonna say,
if Jones loses tomorrow. But like you said, even you've just said there's more chance of Man City losing tomorrow than Jones. So that's just
I
reassured
don't know
me.
who you think you're playing. To be fair, might be
That's a lot. That's a lot of reassurance there, but thank you very much for that one.
I
I'm
don't know who
actually
you think
happy
you're
about
playing.
that.
Hold on. Let me see you sit here playing before I correct that comment. Hold on.
If
Uh,
Jones wins tomorrow, that fight alone is costing me $30, man. And boy, I'm gonna be pissed off. But yeah, I'm banking on Jones to win tomorrow, man. I don't see any other way. With the Askren fights, I mean, the only reason why I'm looking at Lola is just coming back from ACL. This ACL injury that is just coming back from, especially if you're fighting a man
that wrestles
that wrestles,
and that
this
takes
guy
people down.
exactly, he's gonna be trying to rip you from limb to limb.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
if that body is feeling old and fragile and all of that, this is the last guy that I mean, if he chooses if he's having a fight with somebody that will stand and bang with him,
Yeah,
then there might not be that much worry with the AC. But this is somebody that's going to be looking to lock you up, lock your body up in all type of ways.
yeah. I,
And
I think that's an excellent point, which I didn't even consider. You're absolutely right. The one area you would think that a wrestler is going to attack in order to get you to the
it's your
ground
leg.
is your legs. So
If he's
surely
just coming back from
it's
ACL,
a
I mean,
nightmare fight for someone that has a history of ACL injuries. It's a
it's
nightmare fight.
it's a nightmare fight for him. I don't think it's a good matchup for him. I thought he would have gone with somebody that would stand and bang with him because Lola is a warrior. He loves to stand and bang and have a tear up. He can hold his own on the ground. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's at a disadvantage with a very very well-rounded fighter on the ground, well-rounded grappler, world class, and I mean world class
World class. He's an
grappler,
Olympic level,
grappler like Askren.
elite, elite grappler. I
Because
mean,
I was watching. Did you see the workout with him and Woodley?
yeah, man.
Woodley said the only time you will see my ass getting whooped in a workout or sparring session is with this guy here, Askren. Because he said only Askren can handle him like that. No one else can. No one else can really deal with him like that. You know what I mean? So that's where I feel for Lola. But Askren again is another guy that thinks of the future. He's never been hit in his face in his entire career. I mean, this is somebody that's in MMA, mixed martial art. How can you be in mixed martial art and never be hit in the face? But if there's somebody that would like to break that record, it's Robbie Lawler. I've seen Robbie Lawler ended up with his lips hanging out like to one side and
Tough mother.
another lip is over there.
Yeah,
His eyelid is down here. I mean, Lawler, he loves a tear up.
yeah.
He enjoys that shit. You know, so somebody that don't like taking punches to the face. It might be something. There might be something there for Robbie Lawler to test. But you
I
know,
know that.
well,
I know that Askren historically hasn't had the most entertaining of fights.
mm,
But I must admit, I'm very excited to see how he's able to deal with UFC's best. And, listen, Lawler may not be the force he once was, but he is still, I think he's in the top seven.
he's still there, man. He's right up there with the best. Um,
So, I
if
mean,
if anything, he would be at least a gatekeeper for that division. If
yeah,
you want to hang in that division, you gotta get through someone like Lola first.
yeah,
So
yeah,
at the very least, he's a gatekeeper for that division.
100%, 100%. But you're talking about an elite level fighter, someone that I think Dana reluctantly has faith that he can do something against.
Yeah, I think Dana really wants to punish Askren. I think that's why it's through Lola. If he thinks Lola can do the job, he thinks if there's anyone that can really um fuck up Askren, it's Lola. And if you look at the last press conference, that press conference was very interesting. Thanks for the tag in that press conference there. That was a really interesting
Oh, I
press
loved it.
conference when both of them said, "Oh, Dana wants us
Askren
to
stole
lose."
the show. Yeah. Askren and Usman stole the show.
They stole the
Askren,
show.
Usman, and Woodley stole the show.
It,
All
it
three of
was
them.
it was very very interesting. I loved it, and I remember them talking about how Dana always tried to set them down for the fail, set them up for a fail, set them up for a loss with the fights that they're being thrown in. And when you look at these two guys in Woodley and Askren and the type of opponents they got in front of them, I think Dana is sitting down there just rubbing his hands like that, like, okay, something's about to happen here. Because he don't really like Askren. Askren is just a motto mouth. He don't shut the fuck up. He's always on it. And he don't really care for Woodley neither. So there's two guys that's been company men. If there's one guy that's really been company man, it's been Robbie Lawler. Usman is another company man. Them this opportunity to go on and do something for him. This is almost like a mission, like an errand for these two guys to go and accomplish. And I think Lola's going to be relishing it. It's going to be a good comeback for him because this is supposed to be Askren is supposed to be top level competition for him. And if they talking about Askren winning a couple of fights and getting a title shot, which he doesn't want versus Woodley, then if Lola wins the fight, there's no reason why he can't be within a earshot of at least number one contender fight. At least in the minimum, he should be looking at number one contender fight. So we'll see what happens tomorrow in that fight there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I could only see it going to a very comfortable, unanimous decision for Askren. For some reason, I don't think he'll make him tap. Maybe just because Lawler's such a tough motherfucker. I could see it potentially being a TKO. Maybe in the latter rounds, maybe the ref just thinks, "Oh fuck this, you're getting mauled, bruh." But I've got a feeling that surely the one thing that Lawler's got to try and watch out for is the takedowns. But I think over the course of 5-10 minutes, over the course of 2 rounds, that may be that ACL may start getting a bit sore. He might be getting a little bit conscious.
Let me take you back to a fight very, very quickly. Even though he won the fight, Tony Ferguson and Anthony Pettis, the first few exchanges, Anthony Pettis went for that leg. He just kept kicking the shit out of it. And I was hearing Joe Rogan and John Anik, they were talking about how Ferguson was not ready to come back. That leg there is getting sore. He didn't even go to the proper physios to try and get the leg proper to come back. And he was having problems. And then all of a sudden he started teeing off on Anthony Pettis. And that's eventually how he won the fight. But talking about that leg, it's gonna be a target it'll be stupid for Askren not to go after it if he knows it's been a problem. It'll be stupid for him not to. And I expect him to fully go for it and try and, bro. If you see a submission by Niba tomorrow, don't be surprised.
Niba is a good call actually. Yeah, it's a good call.
Do not be surprised if you see a submission by Niba.
That's a good call.
I'm expecting that.
That's a good call. I like that. Okay, let's talk about it. For us, this is the main event, really.
This is the main event.
And this is obviously Tyrone Woodley, who's one of my favorite fighters. But then
I'm getting goosebumps just.
I'm conflicted because he's facing one of our countrymen, and that is Usman, Kamaru Usman. And I'm not going to lie to you. For me, I'll be engaged in this fight because of who's involved. I can see the casual fan or the casual MMA fan finding this fight very boring. Because when you look at their records, Usman doesn't get a lot of finishes. No. In fact, I think he's only got one. And Tyron has this habit of when he fights someone, Till was the only time he really changed that up. But when he's fighting a well-rounded fighter, he has this habit of being very cagey with them.
Yeah.
In his approach.
Demian Maia and Stephen Wonderboy comes to mind.
And Wonderboy are the two people that come to mind. So I know Maia, I wouldn't necessarily say Maia is well-rounded, but he has such a threat
Maia's dangerous. If you slip up, if you slip around him, it's over for you.
Yeah. Whereas with Usman, I to be honest, I think his biggest strength is probably his wrestling. His wrestling and his engine are probably his two biggest threats. And Tyron trained with the best wrestler on the roster. So that cancels that out because Tyron can actually wrestle. So you've got to talk about, all right, so it's a striking battle. And if it's a striking battle, I could see Tyron being cagey and Usman's going to have to take some risks in order to... Because the one thing that may play into Tyron's hands here is...
Oh, bro. We got to shout out a couple people, man, because we were just going on. Okay. Shout out Zamir Patwa, donated £2 into the super chat.
Big up.
And CF CeeLo, my brethren, he donated £10 into the chat. So yeah, man, shout out to the guys there for donating.
Big up.
Yeah, man, big shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. So in the super chat, Zamir said, "Keep up the good work, guys." And CeeLo AFC said, "What do you think?" In the super chat, said, "What do you think will be the biggest upset on the UFC card?" I said, "Ruthless Robbie to smash Askren." Love both for your inputs on the fights.
Oh, do you know what? I think Usman, you know. I think Usman, you know. I think Usman could do it, you know. I'm not gonna lie because he's being.
I'll let you get through your points there, but we had to get through the super chat because the thing was flying across.
No, of course, brother. No, honestly, please, big up, Zamir and who was the other guy that you said?
CeeLo AFC.
CeeLo AFC, brother. Appreciate it. Much love. To me, I think that Usman is going to have to try something and take risks in order to force Tyron into a corner. I don't like the way he's being so written off, though. Like, people are kind of like, "Oh, Tyron's got this," and I'm like, "Yeah, you might not acting like Usman is some sort of idiot, like." And that's the only thing that worries me. But to me, out of all of the people fighting, to answer my man's question, because he deserves that question after that, it was a generous donation.
It was a very, very generous donation there.
Yeah. If I honestly had to pick an upset, this is the fight that I think that would happen. Having said all of that, I think Woodley wins. I think Woodley wins. Don't get me wrong, but I think if there's ever going to be an upset, it will be in this fight. I can't see past Woodley. I think Woodley is literally a grown-up, ever so slightly better version of what Usman is. But obviously, as the countryman, I'm of course supporting Usman. I just don't see him doing it. That's just my honest opinion.
I'd go along with that for sentimental reasons. People that been following us for a little while now know that we both love Woodley. We love Woodley.
I love Woodley, man,
and I love his work ethics. I love the way he's come up. I love everything he stands for.
Certain people don't, But for me, I love his fighting style.
I love everything it stands for, the obstacles that is currently overcoming within the UFC. We both know they want they want Woodley the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
They want him to lose. They don't want, he's
Brother,
documented.
his own trainer, Din Thomas,
Dean
said
Thomas,
he knows that if he loses that title, he
he's
may
never seen it again.
retire because he
You
ain't
know,
seeing that title again.
it's not seen it again. And shout out to Dean Thomas as well, because my man is also the coach for
Askren.
Amanda Askren and Amanda Nunes.
Nunes.
You
Yeah, I
know
know.
what I mean? So yeah, but he's coached a lot of champions around there. But then if you look at the circle of Usman, and this is why I think Usman would do it, not
Okay.
because of um not because of sentiment, even though I love Usman to win, but putting the sentiment aside, if you look at Usman's team, he's got former champions surrounded by him. I'm talking people like Rashad Evans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like people like Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that he spars with every day. They go to eat every day. They go lunch. They're always in the gym. These are people that they're showing him the mindset that he needs to be in going into a UFC championship fight to fight someone like Woodley, someone as dangerous as Woodley.
And I
So
do
if
like
this,
his mindset. I do. His mindset does look like it's in the
and
right.
I'm telling you right now, if you can hang in a sparring session with Anthony Rumble Johnson and his power, you can hang with Woodley.
Okay, but to be fair, Rumble Johnson isn't in the fighting shape he was once in.
Not in the fighting shape that he was once in, but he's still a formidable striker.
Okay,
And when you look at his skill set, this guy is. If you look at his whole career in the MMA, he doesn't even like fighting, and he
yeah.
achieved all of that. Can you imagine if he loved to fight? He'll be unstoppable, unstoppable. So I mean, having people like that in your corner, it can only benefit Usman. And I'm praying, not just for my money, but I want to say I knew. I want to hear Bruce Buffer shouting, "I knew." Tomorrow I'm gonna be losing my rag if that happens, and it's gonna be the first African UFC champion in the UFC. Francis Ngannou is trying to get there. He missed his opportunity. Usman might be the one to get us
I
there.
beat him to the punch. Yeah.
It might be the one that gets us to the promised land.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I think you're more optimistic for him than me. I hope he does it. I don't
I
have a
love
good.
Woodley, man. I don't want Woodley to lose. But
I,
I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be in Usman's corner tomorrow, man. Like
remember,
I want him to win so
if you
bad.
believe what Woodley says, he's 30% Nigerian himself.
Yeah, I know what Woodley said. Those are mind fucking games, man. You're from Missouri, man. Stay in Missouri, brethren. I don't. We don't want another 21
Never gonna
Savage
live
case
that
on our hands,
30%
man.
down.
You know what I
He's
mean?
never gonna live that 30% down.
Bro, Willie's a dickhead, man. You know, he knows what he's doing, man. He knows he's just playing games, man. You know what I mean? We don't want another 21 Savage fucking case on our hands, do we? So, we leave that where that is, man. We got another fight on that card. A big one at that. Cody No Love versus Pedro Munhoz.
Yeah, they've had a really nice build up, but you know both these fuckers are savages.
I mean,
I
don't
love
let that press conference fool you. The press conference between both of them, man. Don't let that fool
the
you
fight will
one
be
bit.
so good.
Them two are gonna try and kill each other in there.
I love Cody. I love the way Cody fights because obviously he has a very much a boxing striker type style. So it appeals to me in terms of just visually. That's what I like to see in my UFC fighters. He does have that flaw, which DJ kind of exposed, where he does let his right hand drop when he's in a defensive mode. So hopefully he's worked on that shit. corrected that. But let's see. I don't know a lot about the other guy, other than I know he's a bit of a savage because I've watched
No,
one.
Pedro Munoz is a savage, man. He's a killer. He's one stone cold assassin. A very very good striker. His BJ, his jiu-jitsu is off the chain.
I've seen him in his jiu-jitsu.
His jiu-jitsu is off the chain. I mean, look at his previous fights. He just puts people away, and his submission finishes is second to none. I would almost liken him to someone like Brian Ortega in terms of when he wraps himself around you, you ain't getting enough. It's done. It's over for you. So it'd be interesting to see how that fight goes tomorrow because Cody, we know he's not so is a out and out striker, really, isn't it, Cody? So for me, fighting somebody that's very very well rounded like Pedro Munoz is going to be a big test for him. It's a test I think he can overcome. He definitely needs this win to be back in the conversation, especially with Dominic Cruz not even being in the picture at all because he's spending more time because of injury and whatever else.
Might as well retire. You can't last a camp. You might as well.
Exactly. You keep getting injured in camps and that. So to me, it's not even in the picture now. Cejudo, on the other hand,
let's face it. You're praying that rematch is made at 135 and Cejudo does again what he did before.
If Cejudo does it, he also basically makes that division very very interesting. So
100%.
I mean, watching Dodson the other day, I thought to myself, like the guy that he fought his name is No Mercy. I can't remember his first Taj or Taz. The boy's name is some Eastern European guy.
Yeah,
this guy is lethal. He's gonna be a problem for that division, and he's already said, "I'm coming for all you motherfuckers that's coming. I'm coming for all of you." So, and the way he dispatched Dodson, I couldn't believe my eyes. And Dodson is a very very is a good bar. It's a good gauge for that division, So he's a very capable fighter, and he just dispatched him and put him away. So
let me ask you about another fight on the card: Diego Sanchez versus Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall, Diego Sanchez. That's a tough one to call. But I'm a big Mickey Gall fan.
Big step up for Gall.
Yeah. I fuck with Mickey Gall, man. You know what I mean? I fuck with him heavy. So, but he's got a very, very big test in front of him. He's a submission artist as well. He loves to wrap people up, just wrap them up like a present, Christmas present.
Jiu-jitsu heavy. You can see.
Yeah. So I like him, and I hope he wins. He gets the win against Diego Sanchez. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough fight. But I see Mickey Gall's hand getting raised.
Did you pick for TJ? For TJ and why do I keep forgetting my man's name, bro? Pedro. Let's call him Pedro. Let's call him Pedro.
Pedro Munoz.
Yeah.
No. I stayed away from that fight, man.
Oh, you're not even picking. I'm gonna go.
No.
I've got a feeling that Cody's gonna.
You think Pedro will do it? Like I said, I did say I want Cody to do it, but
I've got a feeling
this division needs reshuffling, anyways. Yeah. So I won't be mad at whoever wins that fight because I feel like Cejudo is going to come in and disrupt things, anyways.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. There's a bigger picture to look at in this division. As far as this division is concerned, there's a much bigger picture to look at. And
I just think Cody has lost his mojo a little bit since those TJ fights.
Do you think he's not lost his confidence?
I sense it. Sometimes in a fighter, when you lose, especially to such a...
He was extra nice to this guy. Cody ain't never that nice.
I
watched this guy for like 10 weeks straight on Ultimate Fighter. He's the cunt.
And and don't get me wrong, I could be very wrong. But like you said, he had all that confidence and swagger prior to those TJ fights. Because I think that was what he was about. Then he took this extended time out. He's being extra nice to this Pedro guy. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing necessarily wrong with nice, but as you pointed out yourself, this motherfucker's never been nice.
He's never been nice to anyone.
Yeah. So why is he start?
It goes by the name Cody No Love. He shows no love to nobody.
He shows no love, bro. The clue's in the name. But yeah.
You know what I mean? So
the other one that we completely glossed right over before we came to Mickey Gall was Tisha Torres versus the Seng Han woman, who's supposed to be deadly assassin. This Welling Zhang. I can't even say it.
Welling Zhang, the Chinese lady.
Like an amazing talent.
Bro, I'm still gonna go with Tisha Torres on that fight. It's gonna be a good fight.
Do you know what? I'm going the other way. There's my other shot. Okay.
Another one there for you, CeeLo.
Hey, she's 18-1, bro. She's
I know. I saw a record. Yeah, she's 18-1. Tisha Torres 20-3. I think she's lost 3 fights. So it's gonna be an interesting one to see. I'd like to see it, but I've been following Torres for a long time, and so.
Bro, do you know who I completely fucking forgot about? I didn't even realize
Jeremy Stevens and Zabit.
Yeah, bro.
I was gonna go.
What the fuck?
Jeremy Stevens and Zabit,
fights, bro.
That's a massive fight.
Wow,
that is a massive bout. That bout there, and for me, it's a strange one, but I have to go with Zabit. I'll have to go with Zabit if Magomed Sharipov. That's his name, Zabit Magomed Sharipov.
Magomed Sharipov. Yes.
You have to go with him because of his style. But Jeremy Stevens is just, if he catches you, man, he's just that guy. If he catches you with that punch, your eyes is rolling in the back of your head. He's just got that fucking knockout power. And
I must admit, though, here's the thing where it's funny you should say this about Jeremy Stevens, because you're right. He does have ridiculous power for a featherweight.
Yeah.
Zabit has been hit before. Like, he has been hit.
Yeah. He's unorthodox. And because his style is so unorthodox, he's susceptible to getting caught.
Yeah.
Right? So because he does all these mad, crazy styles, but he's so lanky, and his reach is ridiculous. I mean, for featherweight in that division, for that weight class, his reach is madness. Like, I don't. You have to be pretty fast to get on the inside, get your clinch, and even when you get your clinch, you're in trouble because he's a specialist. He's a specialist grappler, specialist wrestler. He can keep you on the ground and do you the same way Khabib would do anybody. He's got that skill set for very, very tall guys. So if you're saying, oh, I can't jab and I can't reach him, so I've got to close it in and get the clinch, which is what most people naturally would do.
Yeah.
With somebody that they can't get any close to, then it's literally you jumping right into the trap with Zabit, because it can do the other side very, very well.
Very well.
So I'll have to go with Zabit on that one. I think he's got more tools in the box for Jeremy Stevens. But it'll be a good card. Very, very good card. Looking forward to that one.
And so last not least, we did touch on it, and that's Sanchez versus Mickey Gall.
Yeah, there's one more that you probably ain't remembering, but I know you wanted to talk about it. It's Darren Till and Masvidal. I know he's a.
We'll come to it. Don't worry.
We'll come to that. Okay, so we can deal with that. We can deal with that and another one.
Yeah, there's still. Before I even come to that, I want to get your opinion on the Ferguson stuff as well. So, before we come to that, let's talk about, obviously, who your pick is for Gall and Sanchez.
Mickey Gall. I'll have to go with Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall is my guy. I've been following him from from long time, and it's a young fighter. He's an up and coming fighter. Good prospects. Will go very, very far in the UFC if he keeps his head down, keep working. I thought giving him CM Punk to start with on his debut fight was disrespectful to his skill set.
Yeah.
And he's shown since then that you have to put some respect on my skills. And time and time again, he keeps going out there delivering, and I think he's going to do it again.
Yeah, I agree. I agree as well. I'll go with Mickey Gall. I think it's a big step up facing a very experienced Diego Sanchez, but it is a fight that he called for. So I think he's prepared for it. So we'll see what happens. Well, I mean, it's good. Sounds like it's going to be an exciting 2-3-5 event.
It's a very, very good card.
I am legitimately interested. Even in the early prelims, there was one fight I was watching out for: Gina Mazzani versus Macy. I can't even say her last name. But yeah, that Macy girl's supposed to be pretty good as well. She's 3-0. And she's on a bit of a tear.
There's a couple of decent fights in there, but the way they've done this prelims now, it's kind of pissed me off. With the one would be on Fight Pass, one would be on ESPN, and then you get the main event on BT Sport. It's a whole lot of fuck shit.
It's a whole lot of fuckery.
You know what I mean? So I would just love for all of it to be on one platform. Even if you're going to take it away from ESPN or you're going to take it away from BT, let us know where everything is going to be on one night. And then we can just go there and watch all of it from the same place. Why split 3 different things on the same night on 3 different platforms?
I'm going to lie. We all know where I'm watching it. Wink, wink. Wink, wink. So, it's all going to be on one platform for me. Well, I can't speak for anyone else.
We know where that is. We know where that is,
bro. What was I going to say? I can't even remember. Raga, I can't even remember. Are you working on Sunday?
No.
Oh, so
you to work on Monday.
Going to get to watch it and not have to rush off.
Yeah. Back to work on Monday, man.
I'm glad. All right. So now we wrap that up.
The guys in the chat are trying to guess where you're watching it.
Wink.
Yeah, man. You man already knows too. You man already knows.
Wink. Let's just say I ain't worried about no different platforms. Right. So what was I going to say? Yeah. Tony Ferguson. So he's facing a lot of criticism. And me and you, we spoke about this on WhatsApp because people like to think, we just do this for the show. No. When I get annoyed at football or UFC shit, usually Lee and Ola are my sounding boards for shit. And I'll WhatsApp them and voice note them like, what the fuck is this, right? And when this popped up, me and Ola were going back and forth on WhatsApp, and I basically was like, what the fuck is this? So Tony Ferguson was offered to fight Max Holloway for the interim lightweight title. A fun fucking fight. By the sounds of it, both of those two are crazy motherfuckers. They're like to just
stand. Hawaiians.
Bang.
Crazy motherfuckers.
Both can be unorthodox as well. I mean, Tony's the most unorthodox motherfucker you'll see. Yeah. But I think Max can also be unorthodox when he wants to be.
I'm not sure if anyone is in the UFC that can fight off his back like Tony can.
Like Tony can. Agreed. So it would have been a really fun fight to see. Now, Ferguson rejected that fight. And then he's faced a lot of criticism for rejecting that fight. And do you know my view? Fuck that. Credit to him for rejecting that fight. And I know Ola disagrees, but let me put in my speech, right? For me, right, you come into Tony for the second time in 2 years to say here's an interim title fight against Max, he wasn't offered Max Holloway before, but it's the second time he was offered an interim title fight. Presumably, that interim title guarantees a title shot against the champion. And this motherfucker won the title and was never lost the title in the octagon, was stripped of it due to a horrible accident. A title he should have never been stripped from in the fucking first place, right? Only to now be offered the opportunity again to fight for the same title that he never lost in the first place. So my attitude is like, fuck that. I don't blame him for saying no. No, why would I do that? So that's my view. That's my view. Now, for just to bring people up to speed, so he was offered this fight. Tony said no. So it was given to Dustin Poirier. Now, don't get it twisted. I think Dustin Poirier also deserves a shot. But what do you think now, Ola?
Shout out to Bobby Burgess in the chat. He said Tony Ferguson should have never been wearing sunglasses in darkness. That's your own fault, motherfucker. Shout out to Bobby Burgess, man.
I don't disagree with that. You should never
you brought this shit on yourself.
Unless your name is The Rock in 2001, you should never be wearing sunglasses.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So you brought this shit on yourself in the first place, and now this is where you found yourself. So if the UFC is offering you something, like, look, we had to move on when you was going for rehabilitation and whatever else. You got the support from the company. We offered you a performance enhancing gym and all of that. You wanted to use what you wanted to use. That's fine. But the show, as you know, must go on. And this is the game. This is the game they're in. This is what they're all signed up for. I mean, yeah, all right. Look, I'm not going to sit down here and not say that UFC have done him dirty. You know, they've done a slight one. Kobe's gone through the same shit.
Yeah.
And there's nobody else that I would love to get ass whooping tomorrow.
Did you see the video?
I said, but
I'm gonna lie. That was the first time ever.
Dana looked pissed off in that video there, man. He looked angry.
Let me go up to Dana himself. Straight up.
How much money do you think Kobe paid to get the information of where Dana is? Like, do you know who you have to pay to know Dana's whereabouts? Like, where he's sitting and chilling and doing his regular day-to-day
thing. No, my man was clearly like gambling and shit.
Yeah, but that's probably day-to-day. He's a billionaire, man. That's a normal day occurrence for fucking. That's a day in the life of Dana. What you saw there, you know what I mean? That's just him chilling, letting his hair down before a big fucking stressful fucking. Who knows if there's gonna be another one of them Khabib fucking moments tomorrow? You don't know what the UFC is gonna bring. You know what I mean? So to him, tomorrow is a work day for him, and he's gonna have to man all these people. He's gonna have to pull out the belts and put on them, manage the fans, manage the arena. There's a lot that he has to do that nobody really sees in the background that he has to deal with. So fair play to him on that one. But I mean, for Kobe, I don't know how he found out where he is, but he paid somebody really, really well. And I know somebody's getting fired for that soon as Dana White figures out who told him where he was. But moving on from there, I mean, Kobe I wanted him to get the deserved ass whooping from Woodley. But there's one thing that we know deep down. Dana knows Kobe can't get the job done. And he wants Woodley to lose the belt. So that's why he was quick to just, you know what, you can't fight Usman, innit? You know what I mean? Go and deal with Usman.
I must admit, I'm not going to lie to you. But especially because we're talking about someone where Dana has very recently criticized Kamaru Usman, right? We know what Dana's like when he has a beat his bonnet about a fighter. So
exactly.
when I saw that, I thought, damn, you clearly don't think that Colby could do it. Then,
Bro, he don't think because he tried Darren Till. Darren Till was like his banker.
Darren Till was his big white hope.
It
Let's
was his
call it what it is.
banker. That was like, yeah, this guy is the guy that's gonna fuck him up. Gonna
Nah,
fuck him up and get him the fuck. He ain't even gonna see a rematch. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Get him out of it.
get that
And,
along. That's
and
all
from
we
when
want.
Darren Till couldn't do it, if Darren Till couldn't do it, there's no way Kobe is fucking doing this shit,
Yeah.
man.
So
Kobe
then,
can talk a lot, but he ain't getting this job done.
so then
I need to send a man to do a man's job.
you started seeing Dana all of a sudden backtrack against his words, and I'm like, hey, what's
Yeah.
going on here? And I thought, oh, okay, you clearly don't have any faith in Colby. Which, to be fair, let's be real here. Colby ain't got a fucking hope in hell of beating any of those two. I think Usman beats him as well.
Yeah.
You want me to be real?
I think so as well.
So I can understand if you're Dana who is focused on taking that title from Woodley. Let's face it, this is what he's desperate to do. I think Usman has a chance. I don't think Colby does. I think Wonderboy tried, Wonderboy failed. Who's the rest? I don't think Till has enough skill set to beat Woodley. I'm trying to roll through that fucking top welterweight list. There's no one on that list.
There's no one really in there, man. There's like maybe top 6, top 7 guys in there, and that'll be about it.
That's why
That's why catch weight is so important. That's why people like Askren is campaigning for catch weight. You know, where people from welterweight can fight with people from middleweight, and people from middleweight can fight with people from lightweight, and we can do catch weight like that. These people can just put a few pounds on, take a few pounds off, and meet up in the same division. In one division, and that way we get more fights. We get more fights, but Dana is against it. He don't want to do it, but everybody else is campaigning for it. Even Conor McGregor's campaigning for this.
Yeah, everyone wants a 165 belt, apart from
everybody. Yeah, but it wouldn't just be a 165. Once he does the 165,
he moves.
There's going to be every other division. Every other division is going to want a catch weight, and Dana doesn't want to pay it. He don't want to be opening division here, there, and there, and there, and there, just for catch weight situation. He'll have to pay more on the belts. He'll have to pay more on fees. He'll have to pay more on camps. There's so much. This is the thing that he doesn't want to get involved in that. You know what I mean? He's saying no, but these guys want to do it, and I'd love it if it happens, because that's more fights for us with different divisions, and where they can come in as one and try and do something. So let's hope in the near future they can convince him. But yeah,
I personally I could see someone like Woodley, beat. Listen, I think he will. I think he'll beat what's his name, Usman. I think he'll beat Colby, and then depending on whether Dana thinks, okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity to make money for me. I think that's the only way that happens. Then
there'll be a big pay-per-view. They'll sell out.
Well, that's the thing.
Especially
I think the only way that Woodley gets a shot at, say, a Whittaker. Here's the thing. I don't think that if
Askren gets past Lawler, I would like to see Askren versus Colby, because Jesus Christ.
Oh, what a fight!
What a fight that would be, man. That would be a fantastic fight if something like that could come together.
I think if Adesanya beats Gastelum and then beats Whittaker, I don't think you'll see Woodley versus Adesanya, because I think Dana will do whatever it takes to protect Adesanya.
Whereas that wouldn't happen.
I think if Adesanya was to lose to either Gastelum or Whittaker, so say Whittaker's still champ,
so there'll be a chance for catch weight with both of them. I think
there's a reasonable chance that there's a champ versus champ fight. A reasonable chance. Because also what you heard today was Woodley talking like, listen, he's looking to 2 more fights at welterweight. step up to middleweight, and then leave the welterweight division to Askren. That's his ideal.
That's the plan, yeah, because those two don't want to fight each other.
They don't
They've
want to
made that
fight.
very, very clear. They've put
Askren
that
was
out
the
there.
only one left. So yeah. So I think that's the ideal plan for Woodley to
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very good possibility. We'll see
have
what
his
the
money
future
fight
brings.
and get going. But then the other thing that could happen is that Woodley beats Usman. Maybe doesn't even fight Colby. Like you say, maybe it's Askren versus Colby. And then maybe someone like a Diaz brother decides to wake the fuck up and then challenges Woodley.
I don't know, man. I think it's over for those guys.
But
I don't even take if I anytime I hear their name tagged into a fight or talking about they got a fight, well, I don't take it seriously no more.
Or what about McGregor versus Woodley?
Wow.
It could happen. I could see
a very good fight.
See a plan where Dana says we need to take this fucking title off this motherfucker. All right, let's give him his money fight. I'm going to send my blue-eyed boy at him and send Conor.
But he knows if Woodley puts him away, which I think very good chance of that happening. That's just putting the final nail in McGregor's fucking coffin, man. You know
that's the thing. It's a big risk to take.
It's a big risk.
Because I think that Woodley can beat him in two ways. I think Woodley could beat him striking wise. We saw what happened to Conor when Khabib was punching him up. What do you think Woodley would do to him? And then we know that Woodley can wrestle. So Woodley just decides, fuck it, I'm just going to wrestle this fucker.
The way I'm still looking back at the way he dropped Darren Till with that wind punch, the way he dropped him, I'm not sure many people can take Woodley like that. I'm trying to figure, and the only reason I'm giving Usman any chance at all, is because of what he does inspiring with Rumble Johnson. That's the only reason I'm giving him this type of chance. That okay, maybe he might be able to hang, maybe, and well, time will tell. I'm so gassed about this card, man. I'm fucking buzzing, man. I'm buzzing about this card. I'm telling you, it's a big card, man. And yeah, let's hope he delivers tomorrow. I don't want to see any boring fights. I want to see finishes. I want to see submissions. I want to see knockouts. You know, fun fights. And hopefully, we'll be when we review it, we'll be saying how good this card is.
A couple more things before we get going. Thank you for everybody who is still watching us.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in live chat, man.
Please do crush that like button and really share this people with fight fans, people who you know will enjoy what we're talking about. So let me quickly get your opinion on the Till versus Masvidal fight, since we're talking about Darren Till.
I mean,
which takes place on the 16th of March, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's a good fight. It's happening here in the UK. So it's one of those. Masvidal is a very, very awkward fighter, but Till needs to be back in the conversation. He's been sidelined since Woodley beat him. Nobody is really talking about Till. It was like the big hot prospect. Going through Donald Cerrone, Cowboy, everybody was talking like this Till. Till it was making waves. It grabbed the division by the horns, and he was letting his name. It was putting his name out there. But since Woodley put him away, it's like there's nobody in the UFC, nobody in MMA media, nobody in any of the fucking MMA fucking discussions, podcasts, you name it. They're not talking about Till. I ain't heard nothing about Till since he lost. Maybe the Snoop Dogg memes when it was saying, choke that motherfucker.
Yeah, well, he's going, Wakanda, nigga.
Wakanda forever. I love that meme.
That is such a clown. I ain't gonna lie, I was so embarrassed for him. Yeah, that's the wrong guy.
He's the wrong guy. It's the wrong guy for the right guy. And for Woodley came out and said, "Oh, Unks is a fucking fool." Like, but I love you, Unks, but you're a fool.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, till he ain't really made no wave. So this would be a good comeback fight for him. Masvidal again doesn't really like or care for English fighters. He doesn't like Bisping, like you said. You
Yeah,
know,
war.
so he's going to be thriving on coming to the UK and beating up um
An English guy.
Darren Till on English soil. So that'll be a good fight to watch. I think they still
He's just too big, too powerful for Masvidal.
yeah. I think he'll have too much for him. I
I,
think
I,
he'll have too
I
much for
put
Masvidal.
Masvidal these days in that Diaz type of can't be bothered.
Nah. It's a money thing for him. It's a money thing for him. It's this fight is way too big for. I mean, Till is way too big for Masvidal in terms of size, power, and everything else that Till is going to be bringing. And he wants to prove a point, So he wants to get back, and yeah, I'll surely be backing him, and hopefully he'll get the W on the day. Like you said, what was it, the 16th? You said 16th of March. So that's in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be around the corner, and as long as it has a very, very good camp, I don't think it'll be a problem for him. The only thing that I think that might stand in his way is making weight. So it's been a struggle for him to make weight. And I thought when he said after the Woodley fight, whatever happens is going to move to middleweight, because welterweight and trying to make weight is killing him. He says it's draining the life out of him, and we see what dropping weight, even 10 pounds from 135 to 125, what it can do to you. We saw it with TJ Dillashaw. It takes so much away from you. I watched the last fight when John Jones knocked out Daniel Cormier. When you look at Daniel Cormier's face then at 205 to Daniel Cormier now, it's like, was Daniel Cormier on AIDS? It's chocolate and cheese. He looks healthy at heavyweight. At 205, it looks like he's just coming from some fucking AIDS fucking clinic, man. Like something's fucking been chewing the life out of him. And that's how much they lose. People like John Jones is almost at his walk around weight, maybe 215, 220 is his walk around. He just loves life at that weight. He doesn't move too far away from it. But someone like Daniel Cormier, he only has to eat a couple of Popeyes fucking Derek Lewis's fucking chicken, and he's right up there in the heavyweight territory. So with him, even he's saying he don't want to go back to 205 because of the amount of power he's going to lose, how hard it is to drop to 205. That's why Cormier don't want to go back there. Cormier don't want to fucking go back and start dealing with John Jones at 205 when he knows he's going to lose a lot of power doing it. But he's saying to John Jones, you want some of me? You have to come to heavyweight. And let's see how well let's see how much you can really hang with the power that heavyweight fucking fighters are dishing out. So, only time will tell.
Okay. Well, just before we wrap things up, I just wanted to get quickly because we keep getting asked whenever we're doing football stuff. I want to get you and Ola's opinion on AJ versus Miller. What are your thoughts? And I'll give my thoughts, and we'll wrap it up.
AJ Miller, the press conference was interesting. I've never seen AJ dissing someone's mom before, but that's a new one. It's got to start at some point. And they love your mom jokes out there in America, so so that's a new one for AJ. But as far as this fight is concerned, I mean, it's a new territory for AJ. From what I learned, I didn't really know that much about Big Ben Baby Miller. I have to be very honest. But he's got a kickboxing background. It came up through MMA, and he's really big for that division. He's probably from what I heard, is one of the biggest heavyweights around. And he packs a lot of power. But does it have the experience? Does it have the know-how? Does it have the intelligence to deal with somebody like AJ in the boxing ring? And this is where I'm going to hand it over to you and let you dissect all of that.
For me,
but I'm backing our boy. I'm backing our boy. Just putting that out there. I'm backing our boy AJ. But go on.
I think AJ will get the job. Some of Miller's fights in preparation for this show a lot more closely because with Miller, I'd always seen him from distance, but I never properly studied him. What I would say, he's a big boy, big boy. He's I think he's like 20 stone. So if for our American audience that could be watching, we're looking like a 300-pound fighter. So he's a big boy, but with being big, he's got an amazing engine on him. Right? It doesn't make any sense that he's big, and yet he's so at least boxing fit.
Apparently, he's so fast for his size. He's really fast for his size.
I don't think he's faster than AJ, but for his size, for sure. And I think AJ, to be honest, for all of his muscles, the one thing I will say is I do worry about his stamina. I do worry about that. So I think for me, I'd like to see AJ come in light and explosive, and just physically fit. I want to see him come into that ring, not just gym fit, but I mean actually. I want to see him
fight fit.
A lot of cardio. That's what I hope he's done, because I think he'll need it against Miller, who's going to be in his face a lot of the time. Having said that, he's going to be in AJ's face a lot of the time. I don't think Miller has a lot of head movement. I think he does get hit. And I think the opponents that he has faced don't hit anywhere near the power that AJ has, the skill that AJ has. And I think AJ has more skill than Miller, more power than Miller. And I think ultimately, I don't think he's going to get KO'd, but I think it could be a TKO where the ref just rushes in and saves Miller for more punishment. So I see it being a 6th or 7th round TKO. I don't think it'll be easy for AJ, but I think AJ will. One thing I don't think AJ gets a lot of credit for is he's a very good thinker in that ring. Very good thinker. So when shit is not quite going exactly, like I was one of the few people that found that Joseph Parker fight interesting, because I liked the way he kind of adjusted and thought, you know what? I'm not going to commit just in case, because we saw the danger that Joseph Parker posed when he knocked down Dylan White to the ground, and Dylan White started getting overexcited and he got knocked down to the ground. And AJ thought, I don't want to even take that risk. I just want to take the title and bounce. And that's what happened. So to me, I think that with the Miller fight, I think he'll adjust. And even with the Povetkin fight, he also adjusted.
Yeah, we thought that was a really dangerous fight for him as well.
Yeah, Povetkin gave him a lot of shots to the face, and he thought, you know what? Let me just take my time a little bit, and started giving him some body shots, which was hurting Povetkin. And I also think he'll do the same thing with Miller. A big guy, and I'm a big guy myself, so I know the one thing big guys hate is being punched anywhere around the gut. So I expect AJ to be punching him in the stomach a lot, really trying to wear him down, sap his energy before giving him the knockout shot. So I think, I don't think it'll be a KO, but I think it'll be a TKO.
TKO.
Where the ref comes in and waves it off. So yeah, I'm going to go round 7 for that one.
Round 7. Okay.
Anyway, people, that's pretty much it. Let us know what you think. I know you have been in the chat room, but let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, please like this. It's a very, very new show of ours, this boxing stuff. I don't want this channel to ever be just an Arsenal channel. I want it to be a sports thing as well. So absolutely, do absolutely just support it, share it amongst people who you know will like the video. What I know is always very popular, and I know I'll be up watching the fight myself, is if Ola's around, we'll do a reactionary video as well in the early hours of Sunday. So yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, we'll do an we'll do a reaction video and really just kind of give our thoughts to the entire card. And
I'll definitely be up for that, man. But usually you're asleep.
I'm more usually asleep. I'll try and be up for this one. And yeah, give it a nice little 10, 15, like 15 minute, 20-minute assessment. So
yeah,
do join us for that one.
No
That's pretty much it, though, from us, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, Ola, you want to sign off?
Yeah. Salute to everybody that's been in the chat, that stayed with us. All the new viewers, people that's going to be watching on playback. Share, like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, and join us next time.
Yeah, and that same goes for me. Thank you to the donators in the chat room. Always appreciate it. Zamir is always a loyal one, so thank you, brother.
Yeah, because I'm a patwa, man.
And the other guy that donated 10
C-Law AFC. That's
C-Law
the guy.
AFC.
That's the homie. That's the
let me give you your proper props. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it to you both. Enough love. I'll be back tomorrow with Ola. In any case, because we're going to be doing the North London Derby review with Lee and
we're back again.
Special guest, which I need to confirm with, which I'm about to go and confirm with that person now.
Okay, so, you do that.
Hopefully,
I know it's off my hands.
I know.
I'll leave that to you.
I know. I'll do that now. So yeah, join us tomorrow. We'll be on at 3 p.m. So yeah, join us tomorrow. All right, people. We're out of here.
Peace.